Catholic priest has been sentenced to 3 years in prison in Spain for criticizing Islam.
A Catholic priest in Spain, Father Custodio Ballester, is facing real jail time after he was found guilty of making Islamophobic comments.
You have heard that correctly. 3 years in prison for a hate crime against Islam. Do we live in the free Western world, or do we live in the Islamic Republic of Europe, where apostasy is now punishable with prison? First, it's prison, but then it's death. Would they send to prison some of the thousands and thousands of people who critique Christianity on a regular basis? Does the France Olympics mockery of the last dinner count as a hate crime? Does that deserve 3 years in prison? Now you ask, what is the exact hateful thing that this priest has said? I quote literally the Spanish priest in question, Custodio Ballester. In countries where Muslims hold power, Christians are brutally persecuted and murdered. What dialogue are we talking about then? And the final straw is that in order to engage in dialogue, in addition to silencing our faith out of prudence, we have to bow down to theirs. It's the new style of the new era. Dialogue not only with Islam, with the Islamic faith, but also with the new social and moral engineering and its aberrations. I will let you be the judge. Do you consider that what this priest Ballester has said, deserves 3 years in prison? Has he committed the unforgivable crime of daring to question Islam's dogma and Islam's daily practices? He also, in such article, criticizes Islam's treatment of women and a few other morally repugnant axioms of Islam. Where are we as a society that one of our spiritual leaders, and I don't care if you believe or not, if you are Christian or not, if you are of Western European descent, you should be outraged by this. I don't care, again, I don't care if you're agnostic, if you believe or if you don't. You should be outraged. While Muslims can criticize our religion freely, we are put in prison for daring to question the most basic, morally repulsive actions of certain Muslims.
The system that we live under, which we do not accept, will end. That same Islamic system, that Islamic society will return.
Actually, we need many more people like him at the top of government, in every government, in this country, across the 4 nations and in other governments, that can influence, sit at the top table and make a difference on behalf of the Muslims.
Our grandfathers who came here and run the infrastructure. It was our grandfathers who brought you the lovely curry, which is your national dish. So how can you tell us to go? We're not going nowhere. We are here to stay. Like I said, we're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
But let me give you some context of the situation in Spain right now. And I can speak about this being a Spaniard myself. Although I don't live in Spain, I do speak the language and I'm somewhat informed as to what is happening in Spain at the moment. Spain has a leftist government led by the infamous Pedro Sánchez. The party's name is Spanish Workers' Socialist Party, acronym PSOE. It's akin to the Democrats in America or the Labour government here in the UK. Pedro Sánchez didn't win the last general elections in Spain, but was able to form government thanks to the government pact he made with far leftist parties all over Spain. The Catalonian separatists who tried to make Barcelona a separate state in 2017 unconstitutionally, he made a pact with them. The violent leftist terrorist group ETA, who committed many murders in Spain of conservative politicians in the 90s and 2000s, now turned political party without the violence, but with the same far leftist ideology called Bildu. He made a pact with them also. The far left political party called Leftist United, you guessed it, he made a pact with them. So although Pedro Sánchez was not voted by the Spanish people to lead the country and be their president, he sits in the presidential chair nonetheless. What's happening now with this Spanish priest being sentenced to 3 years in jail for criticizing Islam? Prosecutors are asking for 3 years in jail, but it's not 100% sure that he will actually go to jail, but they're trying to get him in jail for 3 years. That's what the accusation is trying to get him to go to jail for. But this is just one of the last insane things that happened in Spain since he became president, since Pedro Sánchez became president. There has been a myriad of scandals that has plagued his presidency. From releasing rapists early out of prison, to having his party, the Workers' Socialist Party of Spain, investigated for corruption. Including, wait for this, I kid you not, but including the use of public funds for buying cocaine, hiring prostitutes, paying for luxury apartments in the center of Madrid. For such prostitutes, I kid you not, this is true, to having his own family investigated for corruption. The Spanish president's brother is being investigated for holding a public governmental job while not being either qualified or performing the role adequately. The president's wife of Spain is also being investigated for using his husband's influence as president of Spain to acquire public contracts of various things. She's been charged with traffic of influence. All of these accusations to his direct family, wife and brother, all happened, of course, after he became president. So it doesn't surprise me in the least that a Spanish priest is being accused, and the prosecution is trying to get him to go to jail for 3 years. It doesn't surprise me that this is happening to a priest that's at least brave enough and dare to critique Islam. It's just in line with what the Workers' Socialist Party of Spain have been doing for the last few years. I've been making now a lot of videos warning about the dangers that lay ahead if we continue to go down this road. And I fear that their left right now is like a cornered animal, knowing they are losing all credibility and the culture wars. Almost every single policy that they have enacted over the last 20 years has been an absolute disaster. Mass immigration and diversity, complete disaster. The economy, wherever they are in power, complete disaster. Net zero agenda, making us poorer. The trans ideology, a danger to women. Their marriage with Islam, a danger to us all. This is the issue. A cornered animal is extremely dangerous. I fear that the left won't accept that they've been wrong in almost everything they have tried to push down our throats for the last 20 years. They will put everything on overdrive before they relinquish the power that they hold. I truly think this is going to get much worse before it gets any better. Thank you very much for watching, and like always, see you in the next one.